Hello, and a very, very, very Merry Christmas to all Batavia. This is December 18th, 2020, and I am doing my last one, I guess, of the Christmas season. A week from today will be Christmas Day, so we won't have a message from the mayor next week, but we may have one the following week, and I'll give you further updates on stuff that's happening. I guess I want to, number one, begin by expressing my admiration and sincere thanks on behalf of the City Council and myself to all the people in Batavia who've opened up their hearts and minds and thrown and delivered and given and supported in a number of ways the generous support that has been shown toward unfortunate families in this town and those who needed some help in some respects to have a nice Christmas. I got to tell you, I don't think in all my years involved here I've ever seen the flow of generosity as monumental and as spectacular as it has been this time. And specifically, I just want to say also that the Christmas lights that people have put out throughout the whole community are just phenomenal. The Christmas tree walk of the tree walk on the river walk down by City Hall gets numerous visitors throughout the day, especially at early evenings of the night. A week ago tonight, I had the opportunity, I was asked to appear on the Steve Bertrand show on WGN Radio, and Steve interviewed me about the Batavia Christmas traditions, including the Peace on Earth sign that it certainly had been a product of Craig Fultos, but also the history of the tree on the island, and noted about the view off the Wilson Street Bridge, both to the north and the south, and how it was unique and all the other stuff. And so I talked about the Charlie tree and all the stories that are in Batavia about Christmas decorations. So Saturday morning I come down to my office and my light with questions on my phone is flashing, and I had 3 different people call me from Itasca, Frankfurt, and LaGrange wanting to know directions of where in Batavia they could find stuff, and they were going to bring families out here and tour around and just look at our Christmas decorations based on hearing me on WGN Radio. So I know from previous experience when I've been on TV or radio, you do get a lot of attention because there are a lot of people watching and listening. And certainly last Friday night, the Steve Bertrand show must have had a fair amount of people because I got a lot of comment about it. But today I specifically would like to pay some tribute to some people here in Batavia, starting with Melinda Kentz, who is the executive director of Batavia United Way, and she's made the decision that she's going to retire from that position. And we're certainly sorry to see her leave, but she tells me that she's going to stay around, and she's very active in the 211 telephone assistance program that has been begun largely with her push and drive in Kane County. And she's also going to be there to help us with a variety of other stuff. But this past week, we sponsored what they call the Adopt a Family program in Batavia. And this was done in very strong cooperation with the Batavia School District. And we had a come together of people that made deliveries of package after package after package at the location on First Street in the Batavia Enterprises office there, right to the east of the Kiss the Sky business. And they had the room set up, 1 room for each elementary school in town, 1 room for the junior high, and 1 room for the high school. And each person that brought in stuff, there was all kinds of stuff delivered. And I'm told that according to a little memo that Melinda sent me here, each family received gifts including winter jackets, hats, gloves, clothing, toys, and wishes that they had shown on a gift wish list that they had completed, and they were also given gift cards to restaurants. And I was there to witness some of the response to this when it came about, and the tears that were flowing and appreciation was just heartwarming to see. So I specifically want to commend them. I guess this hopefully will be an ongoing traditional thing of Batavia helping total families with clothing and other gifts, and then we just want to say it makes Batavia a very special place. Now coming up on Monday night, December 21st, we're going to have a new thing called the Longest Night. And as those of you who follow the calendar, and I remember growing up, my father always used to make the observation that December 21st was the shortest day of the year as far as light goes. And he would always talk about it for a couple weeks before it came, and then after it was over with, he'd make an observation about it. But that was the thing with my dad. But anyway, this week on the 21st at 6 p.m., under the sponsorship of the Batavia Ministerial Association, the Batavia Chamber of Commerce, BATV from Batavia High School, and the Batavia Counselors Collaboration and Suicide Prevention Services, we're encouraging everybody to stand on their door front at 6 p.m. Monday night, step outside your front door, light a candle, ring a bell, or sound a horn. As friends and neighbors, we can stand together in grief and in hope. And in these small but significant ways, we can acknowledge our pain and look forward in hope to the light that is coming, and that in the coming year we will achieve great new happiness, success, and progress. And so we're going to kind of hopefully pay some moments of remembrance to 2020 and the whole pandemic that we've been dealing with now for better than 3/4 of the year. But we're going to try to hopefully set some spirits right and make a little noise, and we may blow some sirens, so if you hear those, don't get too excited, but it's only supposed to last for about a minute, but hopefully the memory of it will last for many times. If we can hopefully involve many of our small children, I would suggest that this will be something that small children will be able to talk about 60, 70, 80 years from now. And so this could be a very sparkling and wondrous moment in the life of Batavia, and I specifically want to cite the Batavia Ministerial Association for their efforts in trying to bring this thing together, and I just want to say a thank you to them. Also, I'm told by the Batavia Ministerial Association that they are going to start a Batavia Ministerial Christmas service, and the first one is going to be at 7 p.m. on December 20th. And it's going to be available on Facebook or YouTube if you've got to have some technology to get it. And it's going to be repeatedly shown, but I'm told that I believe at least 6 of our churches in town are making videos to be part of it. And I'm sure it'll be a very commemorative thing. So again, it's at 7 p.m. on December 20th. And I'd like to encourage all of us to take a step back for a moment. Obviously that's Sunday night, and take a Christmas moment to see what that's going to be all about, because that will be on your computer screens. We also have in Batavia some other stuff that I'd just like to briefly mention. We've got a conversation going on right now with a group that wants to take over the old, I'll call it Batavia National Bank building on the southwest corner of River and Wilson Street, and kind of gut out the inside of the building. The building will have to be sprinklered, and they want to open up a comedy club there at 18 East Wilson Street, and they would be looking to host maybe several comedy shows a night. And it won't be open every night of the week. I believe that the target nights are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the business could be open, I guess, for other things that maybe people would like to rent it for parties or anniversaries or birthdays or weddings or whatever. And we also want to make note that our boardwalk shops are continuing their fly into the sky of success, and we are now taking applications for next year's boardwalk shops, and we're going to be adding a couple more to that. And some of those who are there now are currently preparing to move themselves to other business locations in downtown Batavia, so I think we're excited about that. So we have a lot going on, and I'd like to, encourage us all to continue to support our local restaurants. And you can't go in and sit and eat in most of them, but we encourage you to carry out. And if you go check out Main Street's Facebook page or the city's, there is a list of restaurants who are doing holiday catering. And so again, that's one way to support your local community and also hopefully get yourself a very good meal. I think those are my big points that I'm supposed to talk about here if I look at the list. The final thing I would like to share with you is that this past Sunday, and again then on Wednesday night the 16th, the Batavia Access Toy Drive under Roy and Jeannie Bailey and their family, and Rudy and Marilyn Dubas, who are kind of the ones that drive this thing along every year, we probably had the largest number of children in line or parents in line for Christmas gifts we've ever had. I will note that we strive very hard, and I think we're successful in restricting the distribution of this to Batavia children only, because goodness knows if we opened it up to the rest of the world, we'd be having lines going down Randall Road on us. It was held out at the now empty Sam's Club store, and we are in the process of having conversations about that place at the moment. That's another story. But what I wanted to share with you was on Sunday, we had easily 500 people out there, or parents representing 500 children. And then on Wednesday, we had another 30, 40. So at the end of the day, Roy Bailey tells me we were well over 700, maybe 800 children in total were served this year out of Batavia. But the bright spot about this and the happiness of this is the generosity and the giving that poured in to us to help pay for this and buy for it. We did not spend any taxpayer dollars on it. It was all donated money, but we had some extremely generous people that stepped forward and wrote checks, and we're continuing to write checks until the very end of the day when we did it. And so on this week's show here, I'm going to show a picture, and I'm sure it's going to be incorporated into the screen, but this shows we had everybody fill out an order kind of what they would like, their age of their children, boy or girl, etc. And then the team put together bags with toys and gloves and mittens and hats and stuff in it, and also wrapping paper. And so they put all these bags together, and here's a picture of Roy Bailey, who's in the red with the red Santa's cap on. He's standing in the middle of the pile of toys in the bags, talking to one very nice and generous person in our town who has their back to us here, that really, I think, speaks to what this thing was all about. But it shows you the size of the bags. Many times the bags were so big and heavy it took two people in some instances to carry them out. Unfortunately, they were able to get some shopping carts to help load the bags on and get them out to the cars. And again, we had outstanding cooperation of the Batavia Police and Fire Department, and the police were there with us on Sunday and watched over everybody and maintained their presence, so everybody had a tendency to behave themselves. And there's one last thing I need to talk about, and that is that the old Sam's Club out in next to Walmart, there used to be the Sam's Club, which was owned by Walmart. The building has now been sold to a private real estate investment company, and they've got people representing them, and so they were kind enough to let us move the toy distribution in at no charge and donated all the space to us to do it. And they're letting us keep some stuff there till we can get it moved out and repacked and into storage for next year. But they are currently now, we are going to announce today that beginning next Monday, Visiting Nurses Association will have a mobile clinic at the Sam's Club site, 501 North Randall Road in Batavia. And the one thing they are going to be doing is doing COVID testing. And so it's going to be by appointment only, so if you're interested, you are encouraged to give them a call. And we are going to then have that available out there, and people will be able to, so if you want to make an appointment, you're encouraged to call 630-892-4355 or 847-717-6455. And those are, I believe, the numbers for Visiting Nurses Association, which has really a nice facility down in Aurora on Highland Avenue. I was just down there recently to participate in a program. And the VA accepts all insurance plans and does not charge a copay or deductible on COVID-19 testing services. Laboratory bills separately for specimen processing in the event of a copay of deductible applies to specimen processing. The laboratory may charge you. So there may be some charge to it, but your pre-test assessment, specimen collection, and specimen processing are provided at no cost to you. So they're going to be open Tuesday and Thursday, or no, excuse me, open every day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and they're going to be located on the north end of the Sam's Club parking lot to the north of the building, right even with the building. So there'll be a way for people to pull in. They've got it all marked off now where cars should line up and whatever. And the question I keep getting is, when do we get the shots in Batavia? Well, I know some people in Batavia, because they work in the healthcare industry, or they're first responders, or they're part of some member of some group that's judged to be specifically targeted for this. Some people already have gotten the shots, although I'm told there's some going on between the state and federal government as to how many shot processes Illinois has gotten. But we will be watching this. I will have more to say about this in the days ahead. When I know more, that all I am is an information voice here. We, the city, have absolutely no role in receiving or distributing or conducting any of the shots. But I think there's a possibility we could have someplace, maybe in town, where shots will be able to be taken, and certainly I'm sure some of the medical facilities around us will also have them. But that is what's going on. I probably have gotten at least 10 calls this week from citizens wanting to know about what the story was about getting a shot, and I really don't have. As soon as I know more, I will tell you. So that's the end for today. Again, I want to close by wishing you all a very, very, very Merry Christmas. And I hope that Santa Claus is good to everybody in town. And again, from my heart, I thank everybody in this town who has shown their generosity totally beyond belief as to how kind and nice and friendly and supportive a town can be. And I think we should all end this year, after what's been a very difficult year, with a smile on our face as we think of all the nice things that I know, as your mayor, I can testify that have been done this last few weeks by people stepping forward and sharing the blessings of Christmas and support in a lot of different ways. So Merry Christmas to everybody. God bless, and we hope that you all will have an enjoyable week, the time coming ahead. Goodbye.